Everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. And I've been shopping, and this time I did a little bit at Walmart and Joann Fabrics and Crafts. Okay, let's get started. This is a pair of small scissors made by Fiskar. Now I have a lot of scissors this size. Some of them are very old and it's hard to find someone to sharpen your scissors, especially where I live. I used to live in California right next to a Joann's, and every month a man would come and sharpen the scissors. But where I live now, I don't have that wonderful service. I find these very convenient to use right at my sewing machine when I want to clip off the little threads that are left over every time I do a seam. Now, I didn't buy this hat on my recent shopping trip to Walmart, but I noticed, but this is where I did buy it though, but a few years ago. But I noticed they had a lot of straw hats in there that were just really cute. So if you're in there, check out those straw hats because it's really easy to embellish your hats like I did this one here. So if you are going to buy a straw hat and you want to embellishment, then you're going to want to check out my tutorial on that. There will be a link listed below your YouTube screen in the description section. Just click on the word more and then it will expand open and you will see the links to this. Now, my husband was shopping at our local supermarket, and he knows that I use a lot of containers around this size, some smaller, some larger. And so he picked this up because they were on sale, and these are great for putting buttons in them, snaps, any kind of little sewing tools and supplies that you need can be put in here. So there's 2 in a package and it's made by Rubbermaid. Now when I saw this, I immediately grabbed it because I love baskets. This was at Joann Fabrics and Crafts, and this is one of their in their Easter decor section. Isn't this pretty? And what I liked about it is it already came with a basket liner. The reason why I like that, then all my measurements are figured out for me. I can take this off and duplicate it for maybe another season or another theme. So when I buy baskets, I always hope it comes with a liner. This is fusible web. This is made by Pellon. It's called Light Easy Steam 2. I bought 1 package of the lightweight and one that was, or 2 packages of the more heavier weight. And if you're not sure what this product is, on the back, it gives you instructions. And you can cut out of things, let's say out of quilting fabric, and it's got a glue-like substance on the paper in here. And you put that substance on the back of your fabric. There's a process you go through. And you fuse it on to something else. So let's say you're making a pot holder and you want to put a flower on it. This is the product that you would use. You can also use the heavier weight in making your table runners. There are so many things that you can make out of this fusible webbing. I was getting very low, and so that's why I bought 3 packages. One section of the Joann store that I have to check out all the time is the clearance table. It's really large, and they try to keep it by categories, but usually it gets messed up. So you kind of have to really look through all of it really well. And sometimes you find really good bargains in there. And this is clothing fabric, and it feels kind of like a gauze and a little bit like a crepe. Not quite sure what it is because the label describing the fabric wasn't very clear. But why I bought it was I've recently lost a lot of weight, and I can't always find things that fit correctly or a variety. So I decided I was going to buy just a little bit of fabric to make a few blouses. And I just love this. And in a second, I'll show you some of the patterns I might make it out of. So I also bought 1 more piece of fabric. Let me show you that. This is a stretch knit, and it was also on the clearance table. And it looks like someone just had a wet paintbrush and they just kind of went like this all over it. I thought it was really cool. I like it and I love yellow. So again, I'm going to be making a blouse out of this. Now for my size, I buy for blouses, especially if I'm not sure what blouse I'm going to make, I'll buy at least 2 yards. If you're taller and larger, you're probably going to buy 2.5 to 3 yards. Now let me show you a couple of patterns. These are patterns I've had for a while. So I didn't buy them recently, but I believe I bought both of these at Joann's. They're both new look. And so I think I'm going to be making the blouses out of these 2 patterns here. This one has a regular set-in sleeve with a ruffle. And then this one is dolman sleeve. There is no set-in seam. So if you're a beginner at sewing, this is probably your #1 choice of a blouse to start with because it is the easiest to fit and the fewest amount of seams and little tricky points that you have to worry about. This is a ruler designed by Dritz. It is a styling design ruler. And you'll notice it has a lot of curves in it. And I've had requests over the last year for working with something like this. Because a lot of you are saying when they're making clothing, they have curves on their body and they just want to know how to work around it. It's been many years since I've worked with one of these. So once I refresh myself on it, I will definitely do a tutorial. I know that this has nothing to do with sewing, but it was so pretty. I just had to pick it up. Again, it was from Walmart. It's one of the Pioneer Woman collection. It's just a beautiful vase. So I will use it at some point in time. Well, I hope you enjoyed this shopping haul as much as I did. There's a lot of bargains out there. I know prices are kind of high right now, but you have to really know where to look. Always go to the clearance section. Joann's has a clearance fabric table and a clearance corner way in the back. Check out both of those whenever you go in there. Now, if you're interested in learning how to sew, I have my sewing tips which come out every week. So follow along with those. You will learn so much about sewing. Then down below in the description section, I'll have the link to those sewing tips, but I'll also have some beginners sewing projects that you can start out with. Remember, if you are a beginner, you've never sewn anything, start out with either making a fabric napkin or a little pot holder. You'll get less frustrated that way. Start out small and work your way up. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and make sure you go and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl. This is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.